Hey, it's Danny Tato, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play, this time of Rimworld. Rimworld, if you have been living under a rock, is the go-to colony management, sometimes life simulator, kind of depending on how you play the game. And that's really one of the strong points of this game is the modding community is the best out there. It is absolutely second to none. If you can completely overhaul the game and make it whatever you want. And then pair that with all the DLCs, which you can, load in or take off. It's just endless hours. I have, I think, almost 2,000 hours in this game. It's just an absolute blast. And rather than do the standard Rimworld experience, which is kind of your a group in a spaceship, and the spaceship has some issues. You and a couple guys end up falling down onto some random planet out in the middle of nowhere space, and then what now? You got to survive, build a colony, and see what you can do, and then you got all kinds of factions and raiders and all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and you're just trying to survive. It's mostly kind of in the same vein as like Dwarf Fortress, which was a influence on this game. And just trying to survive and see kind of what happens. And it's absolutely brutal in its vanilla state, just like totally, just again like Dwarf Fortress, where losing limbs, body parts, whatnot. People die just very quickly and all of a sudden. So it's really a great game. And rather than do that standard experience, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something I haven't really done before. Personally, I played a very quick test game just to test it out, some mods and whatnot, but I'm going to do kind of an overhaul. And what I have is a set of mods that overhaul this game to make it a medieval scenario, I guess. So it's going to be like a medieval experience. And yeah, so this will be kind of like episode 0. I'm going to spend a little while just setting up the game, talking about some of the mods I have and whatnot. So if you want to skip all that and just kind of get to the start of things, go ahead and skip to episode 1 now. But if not, let's go ahead and start a colony and set things up. So we'll hit new colony here. So when you play Rimworld, obviously you have your standard scenarios, crash landed, where it's the generic vanilla start. 3 of you, your ship exploded or whatever, and 3 of you landed in some escape pods on a random Rimworld, and you gotta survive. You got Lost Tribe, which is a tribal start. You have very little technology. Rich Explorer is just one guy with a bunch of stuff. Start heading out on his own. Some random Rimworld. Naked Brutality is like super hard mode. And then some of the new stuff, this would be a DLC start. Sangophage, basically vampire start. Pretty cool. Actually, I haven't played this yet. I have played the new DLC. I just have not played this scenario. I've just kind of dipped my toes in the water a little bit with the new DLC, but I've not fully jumped into this yet. So with Dwarf Fortress coming out, I've been doing a Let's Play on that for a while. That's been eating up my time, but I will jump into this. I do think it sounds like a super cool start. These 3 scenarios right here are what are added by sort of my mod overhauls here for the medieval stuff. So you got the lone wolf, serving a lord, just one guy, and then for whatever reason you can read this on your own, but you break off, and it's kind of like the Rich Explorer kind of start. Just one guy starting off on his own. Battle Brothers, which by the way is the name of another game that I absolutely love to play. Super hard, great game. Just check it out. But yeah, this is the idea that you have like a mercenary band. You had some success, and then you either in the game, the other game, you actually come on like hard times. A bunch of your band was killed, and so there's just a few of you left, and you got to try to like reclaim your old glory. In this one, it looks like yeah, it looks like you just sort of broke off from another one or something like that. The one we're gonna play here is Tavern Owner, and this kind of goes with the vibe of what I'm going for this playthrough. And what I want to do is I do have hospitality, the mod hospitality enabled here, and what that does, it allows some of the other factions and whatnot that are on the planet that you're on. They can send visitors who will stop by, like maybe they're traveling across the planet and they just need a place to rest. And they can come by, and you can designate spots where they can sleep, where they can buy things, trade, it can be entertained, just hang out, have a good time. And then move on. And you actually exchange money and things like that. So it's a pretty cool setup. I love the mod in the regular Rimworld, but with this, I think it adds like an interesting kind of realistic feel to the flow of information and goods and whatnot and people coming in and out. So that's kind of what I like. So tavern owner is the name here. So the walls of a city were never reassuring. Neither was the bustle of urban life that could suck the soul out of a lich given time. What opportunities you could find were unsuitable for you for so many, many reasons. One, a lack of fitness, while another, a lack of heartlessness. It was this environment that told you to leave, with but raw materials and simple tools to fashion your dream. For you aspired to a home out in the wilderness, a hearth that could welcome many a weary and worn traveler. Rogue or hero, it would shelter them all. With any hope comes risk, and this was one you could not ignore. Reports from the local garrison indicated an increased bandit presence, and crime was on the rise. Even with the most careful preparations, a criminal would most likely follow your trail. But you took the leap of faith and stepped across the threshold of the city. With wilderness ahead and treachery behind, you march away. Optimism and worry cloud your brow. Great little flavor text there to set up pretty much exactly what I was looking for. I was really excited that they had this scenario. So this is what I want to do. I want to set up a tavern, have a little settlement and have people come and go and trade things and just, eventually become sort of the talk of the planet, I guess. And yeah, I think it sounds pretty cool. So you're going to start with 3 people, a bunch of different, if you're familiar with Rimworld, this is a very different kind of start. So silver is base Rimworld. Dried meat might be with some mods. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can dry meat in regular Rimworld. You could do like pemmican, but yeah, same idea. Some herbal medicine, coal chunks, some components, which are like not the typical components, a short bow, iron hatchet, iron knife, some pet, 450 iron ingots, and then some wood. And then we have some stuff scattered about the map. So I like the start. I think we're gonna go with this. For our storyteller, I always play random. But I think for this, we're gonna go with Maynard Medieval here. Maynard Medieval creates a story of increasing curve of challenge and tension. He strongly believes in valor, honor, and sacrifice, and will make sure you regain your strength before tackling a next big threat. Most factions and all research will be limited to the medieval and pre-medieval eras. So that's kind of the big overhaul. There's the research sort of set up. We're not going to be getting like Gatling guns and laser weapons and things like that. So I'm gonna go strive to survive here just to keep it at kind of a middle kind of pace here. So we'll still be getting regular raids, but hopefully we won't be just absolutely decimated right away. I am gonna hit reload anytime just in case we have some weird stuff with some mods I can tweak and change without having to totally destroy the entire let's play. So we'll do reload anytime. Otherwise, I'm always commitment mode, usually blood and dust, or losing is fun, something really tough just to make it fun. I've been playing this game a while. But I'm kind of starting all over with this mod overhaul. So I am gonna modify this stuff a little bit. Just some of these I don't feel like fit the flavor. Like I don't want the pigs, or the Neanderthals, or the imps, or like wasted pirates. Like we don't need that. And I definitely don't want mechanoids because that doesn't fit at all. And I am gonna get rid of insects. They have their own sort of medieval insect thing, the hornet thing, which I'm fine with. So we're gonna leave that. And then I think I'm going to get rid of these guys. I don't know if the overhaul tweaks these guys or not. And just in case these guys start showing up with like plasma rifles or whatever, I'm just going to get rid of them just in case. And that kind of leaves like a sort of a generic tribe. We have these civil houses here. If you look at these people have been here a very long time. Maybe their ancestors crashed here 1,000 years ago. Maybe they survived some cataclysm that destroyed a technological civilization here. In any case, the tribals are mostly nomadic people who live off the land using primitive tools and weapons. I think that's just generic flavor for the gentle tribe. But yeah, so that kind of follows the same thing. But they did rename them, and they do like wear, they're stuck with the medieval kind of technology thing. So they'll have swords and bows and whatnot, more than just a normal tribe. So I don't know if these guys are modded in that way, but these guys definitely are. We have brigands here, which are looters and pillagers. The laws are nothing for them. Brigands are frequently encountered encroaching nearby settlements with ill intents. Same thing with some of these here, like the Knights of Ulrich are kind of the same thing. And then the Shattered Empire here has been also kind of redone. You can see they actually changed the flavor text here. So A medieval society that has ruled over all of Rimworld's humanity for centuries. Their culture is based on a code of honor, a strict class system, and enforced social stasis. They refuse to trade with anyone who does not have the appropriate royal title. So yeah, I believe they did change that by at least adding medieval to it. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. And then these hornets are pretty frightening, but they're gigantic insects. Yeah, they're seeing their art, which is well done. All the art is really well done for this stuff, these mods. But yeah, they're pretty crazy. I'm just gonna randomize a whole bunch of times. Otherwise, I'm gonna leave everything pretty much normal township. That's a perfect name for this. I am gonna drop pollution though, because if we're in medieval, probably don't have a whole lot of pollution, so let's get rid of that. And otherwise, I don't know. Should I drop population down? I'll do normal. That's fine. And let's generate. You can see some of my mods here, but again, I'll put this list up in the description so you guys can check that out if you want to kind of see what's good, if you like some of this stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. I did already create a ideology. It's going to be fluid. We'll talk more about that in a second. Ooh, look at this inland ocean. I haven't really seen that before. That's pretty cool. Old hippopotamus ocean. All right, cool. So we can see our factions. If you want to see the ones we're not hostile with, we're hostile with the blue, and then the white House Hesse here, House Oswin as well, and then Amboys and Soren we're neutral with, and then we have this gentle tribe here, and then the Empire. So they also add a new sort of like biome. This is the Dark Forest. Pretty cool. I have not actually played in the Dark Forest before. I did like check it out just briefly. I haven't actually played it. I just started a map just to see what it looks like, and it looks super cool. I don't know if it's also some of the other mods I have, like kind of changing some of the textures of the wilderness. But yeah, man, it looks super cool. An ancient wilderness, tall like no other, a place of dim light and dense, overwhelming vegetation, commonly used to procure a broad variety of cautionary tales for mischievous children, and justly so. Not many live long enough to carry this knowledge out of the forest, since the forest itself wishes to remain undiscovered. And it just so happens this particular thicket has an arsenal of gnarly thorns and amply clawed paws willing to fulfill that wish. So pretty cool flavor text there. For that, I'm not sure if we'll do that. The main thing I know, I kind of like visualize this in my head, is I know I want a river. And man, there's a ton of that. There's a very dry map. Let's see what we got down here. A river, and I do like to have at least like a little bit of some mountains there, but maybe not tropical swamp. No, thank you. Yeah, swampy doesn't quite do what I want it to do, I don't think. That's all tropical rainforest, so yeah. But like, you know, even something like this isn't bad. But let's just kind of click around, see if I can find something good. My middle mouse wheel doesn't want to work. Okay, there we go. And we could do Dark Forest. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. It really would add, like, you know, some interesting. I just don't want it to be too like incredibly difficult right at the start. You know, I just want to like load up and have some like giant elephant thing just like eat us or something. You know. Let's see what we got here. A bunch of rich soil. I don't know. I just don't know if I feel that vibe. I kind of want just like a temperate forest kind of thing, just to go like. I know it's kind of vanilla, like medieval, but I think that's kind of what I want. Trying to find like the map preview mod is super awesome. It helps you just kind of see like vague, because I've too many times I've loaded a layout, loaded a map, and just the layout was just not what I envisioned for whatever reason, for whatever playthrough I was doing. What are we looking at here with this? Is so this area 30 of 60, which is fine. That's like perfect. I wouldn't mind that. Just don't know if I want to do like a desert. What if we did it like the mouth, like a beach town resort type thing? Could totally do that. But I really want the river with it, though. That's the only thing. Yeah, I don't know if I want the desert. What about like right here? Ooh, I like this. Some rich soil right in the middle here with the river coming through. How big is this river? They call this just river. Yeah, it's all just river. What if we did this? Beach Town. River coming through. It's good work. I think I like it. Growing period 40-60 days. I like 30-60, but 40 is fine. You know, especially with the medieval, might be a little harder. So we got the southern coast. Looks good. I like it. There is a dirt path apparently on it. I just don't see it from the preview, but I'm sure it's there. So, all right, let's do that. All right. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna load. I already set up the ideology I want. So we're doing it. I called it Tato's Tavern. So let's load that up. I did cut off a couple mods here, so that's fine. It should load just fine with no problems. Oh, I wanted to look at it. Can I not? Maybe it'll create custom here and see if I can load it. Whatever. I think it's collectivist. Load anyways. Okay, here we go. All right, Tato's Tavern. So I did choose collectivist as just like the basic kind of meme to go with. And yeah, I think it kind of fits our whole vibe of, you know, we're out working together. We want to set up a thing that's welcoming, you know, a tavern where people can come visit and hang out. So it's not like, you know, oh, this is all for us, or we're trying to like convert everyone to our thing, you know, the loyalist or the, what's it called, supremacy or whatever. You know, this is just like a general bunch of people just want to work hard and make some money, you know, some honest money. The narrative for this sort of ideology. For an eternity, there was a world of green water until Finitius created the planets and stars. Though many adventurers moved against her, Finitius prevented them easily, for she was goddess of creation. Finitius said to all, no one of you stands above the whole. Work together or perish together. So there's our sort of religion. There's this other goddess here as well, who's not mentioned, but, you know, whatever. Olunos. So some of the precepts we have here, drug use is medical only. I would love to change this just because, you know, it's a tavern, right? Like people are going to be doing all kinds of stuff. So we'll do set regulation to be okay. Just, it's okay. We're not like pushing it. It's just, it's fine if you want to do it. Child labor by default is set to encourage, and I left it, and I think that fits again the medieval vibe of, yeah, you know, you're 3 now, it's time to start scrubbing tables and washing floors and stuff like that, working in the fields. So I think that fits, you know, it just works. Everything else is pretty standard. Execution is respected as long as they're guilty. I put slavery to abhorrent. I don't think that fits our whole thing, and I'm not a huge fan of the mechanics of slavery, honestly, anyways, for the game. So clothing, don't care. No harvesting, no cannibalism, it's fine. Our work drive is tripled. I think that's a collectivist thing, if I'm not mistaken. So that's just standard, so I'm just leaving it. Everything else is really standard. Just so you know, the physical love, let's see, spouse only. So those understand to make love with another outside of marriage, it's not a good thing. So interesting. This is all what was default, by the way. I didn't change any of this. So marriage name, usually the man's. Research is normal. And then one spouse for both men and women, respectively. Names here for our roles. So we have a leader role, a moral guide, and a research specialist. Again, this all came default. All I did was change the name. So our leader is going to be the barkeep. The moral guide is the master of the drink. And then I named Tinkerer for the research specialist, and then they have some required clothes. We have 3 rituals. This one was default, the funeral for the god Finitius. I hate that name, but just what it took, so I don't know how to say it. The lantern lighting, and then an autumn feast. And these have special dates. This one's like a summer one, and this one's right before winter. You know, so like a harvest feast kind of thing. Some ritual stuff going on, some relics. Again, all this is default, and then nothing else going on there. So I like this. I think it looks good. I like our symbol with the buck, you know, with the antlers and whatnot. It's just, I like it. I think it just works. So not a big deal, but it is going to be fluid, and that allows us to kind of change it as we go. You get these points as you do some of your rituals and things like that, and then you can add new memes and whatnot and change precepts and all that stuff. So so that's what we're going with. All right, let's set up our starters here. So we're going to start with 3. And then you can set up a few that are quote unquote left behind. So these are people who are like out in the world or may just appear randomly, that may have relations to these guys or whatever, but they're going to be part of our kind of group here. So a few words on sort of how I set this up. I am not a big like min-maxer overall. You know, I like to have, you know, maybe at least, you know, make sure we have one really good, in this case with melee, because there's not going to be a whole lot of shooting, although, you know, shooting does help with bows and arrows. So one that has at least one that has a positive sort of shooting, and then I just want to make sure like all three of my guys can't not shoot or not melee, you know, like just they're not all like just wimps or whatever. So I try not to min max, but I do try to set it up so we're not just going to be like completely handicapped right from the start. So already the biggest thing here is health. I always make sure there's nothing too bad with the health. The bad back is killer, so we're just gonna randomize. So stab scars, fine. All right, so 31-year-old fast learner, incapable of dumb labor. I don't think I can really afford no dumb labor either, so we're just gonna move on. I'm not dealing with asthma or addictions. All right, perfect. Not incapable of anything. Good health. 41, so it's normal. Looks like they come with a helmet. Like, is that actual helmet they come with? I don't know. We'll find out. So you have some melee and some shooting. No construction. You're a cook, and you got artistic and medical. So the cook is nice. Otherwise, you're kind of useless. Let's just move on. We'll leave you, and if we need to come back, we will. See, cataracts are killer. Frail. Like, wow, what a terrible roll off the beginning. Ooh, crown with a little shirt. That's pretty cool. You have kind of nothing except artistic, and we already have a guy with artistic. So construction and mining, perfect. You have a telescope. Cool. All right, that might be that's pretty cool. I like that. All right, so you can melee, you can't shoot. You have passion for construction, which is great, and mining, and your mining is awesome. That's really good. I don't know how much we're going to use mining at the beginning, but later on that might help. You have some plants with a minor passion, which is great. So you're perfect. I love you. All right, keeping you. Calories good. And then we have Brentley here, a recluse. Oh yeah, what were your undergrounder and quick sleep? Oh my god, this is a great colonist. They're 61 though, so I feel like very soon they're gonna like age into some health problems, but we'll see what happens. Brentley here, recluse, pessimist, some minor passion for the military stuff, which is nice, and some good stuff for the plants. I think I'm okay with this. You're gonna be like a total pain. Oh, the recluse is annoying. See, I like this guy. This is a really annoying trait because as you add more and more people to your faction, to your area, you know, your map, he's gonna get more and more annoyed. Plus the pessimist, he's just gonna be he's gonna be constantly breaking. Let's just go a couple here. Yeah, a bunch of frail. Okay, undergrounder and aesthetic. That's fine. Construct. This is almost like the same guy here. And I kind of don't want that. I want someone, one of these two guys have to be good at like plants or cooking or something. So, all right, you're jealous, construction, plants, animals, and intellect. All right, you're good. I'm going to keep you. That's fine. You have melee. I need someone with shooting. And I mean, what are we missing out? I mean, that's basically it. So just give me someone who can shoot / melee and I'm happy. Let's see if we can get someone who shoots. There we go. Shooter, you're Misandrous, you're undergrounder. Shooting of 6 with a big passion, melee with a minor passion, animals, and just like a little bit of stuff here, which is fine. You're not too old. I don't want a bunch of old people, so they don't all age out. Okay, that's fine. I like it. We have no one with medical. These are all 0, and you're 1. There's no way. Whatever. We'll go with it. Hopefully, we'll get a medical guy early on. Cooking, we have 3s only. Oof, we don't have a good cook. Alright, I'm gonna roll this, or should I roll you? I think I'm gonna roll Gregory here. I think Gregory just lost out. I want to make sure I have someone who either has medical or cooking. I can't go without both of those. Shooting and cooking is only 2. Keep going, keep going. Carcinoma, no. Okay, you have a ton of melee. A 4 cooking and a passion. Fine, just give me some cooking. Alright. You can cook. Get mine like crazy. Craft. All right, still in the medical, which is fine. I'm fine with having a thing here. Your axe lever is cautery. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, you're kind of old though. Okay, sorry. I just don't. I know. I said I didn't min max. I just don't. Okay, 25 shooter. You can go. Okay, done. This is it. You're a pessimist, so there's my negative there, which is fine. Your wife is Katya. Oh, cool. Okay, so a married couple here, 25 and 21, and then an older female coterie here. I'm gonna keep your name as Katya here, just because. Oh, that works. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. That's our Squigs and Katya are married, which is cool. You're a misandrist, so you don't like men except your husband, I guess, who's a pessimist and a gourmand. And then we have our underground quick sleeper. Coteries are like super awesome person with the telescope, but I'm worried about their age, but you know, we'll deal with that as it goes. So I'm feeling like this is like my leader, and then these guys were like, yeah, we'll come along, you know, like, hey, you know, I can protect you guys, and I know some stuff about animals, and the husband can cook, make art, shoot stuff, and just be a grouch, I guess, because they're pessimists. So I think that's pretty good. We can look through these guys a little bit and just make sure we have no one who's like awful in terms of like health and whatnot, which is just this one. So we'll just go through a couple times, a couple more. And yeah, and that way we have some people who can kind of come through. It looks like none of these people have any. A lot of times, people left behind will have these relations, you know, with some of our colonists, and there's none here, which is pretty interesting. One thing I like about this mod sort of overhaul thing I got going on here is they do rewrite all of the backgrounds. So tribe child, group of the tribe running around the village, moving the buffalo herds, learning essential skills. So if there's none of these like, oh, they traveled in spaceships for years, you know, things like that, or like off-world stuff. Oh, except for this one. So it's supposed to overhaul them, but I guess it doesn't do all of them. Are they all like this? Yeah, so it does limit a lot of them. But yeah, this one, the crash baby, needs to be reworded. You know, we can say this is a crash from a wagon or something, right? You know, they crashed in a wagon and everyone around them died, and they were the only one around, and then someone, you know, adopted them and raised them and whatnot, taught them everything. And this is why they're such a kick-ass kind of person here. So so they did say they rewrote these, but it looks like some of them maybe they didn't. So anyways, I love it. Katya, Coterie, and Squigs. So let's go ahead and start here. And I think that's going to be the end of this sort of pre-start episode 0 setup. So we'll go ahead and put a cut in here, and we'll start this new adventure in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.